ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Let's Play Warframe. I'm your host of the most, as always, Francois878. And today, I'd like to talk to you guys about the Archwing Overhaul, in case you didn't figure that out from the footage that you're seeing from Specters of the Rail. Now, I know that a lot of the Warframe community does not like Archwing, and personally, I'm not. Before this Overhaul, I was not a fan of Archwing either. I basically got all the new gear to max level, and that was about it. That was about all the time that I really realistically spent in Archwing. And the reason for that is there's not enough gear, there's not enough customization options, there's not enough game modes. It's just not, for me, it just isn't a fun mode. And I'd much rather spend my time playing the game the way that I enjoy playing it. And Archwing is just not for me. However, I feel like the overhaul that they have given us here in Specters of the Rail is definitely headed in the right direction. And I really honestly do enjoy Archwing more now than I did before. With the ability to move with 6 degrees of freedom and have a couple of new game modes, one of which I like, which is Pursuit, which was what you're seeing here now, and the other game mode being Rush, which I am not in love with as much. But we also got a new Archwing, which is the healer support role, which is what I have equipped right now. I absolutely love the new Amasha Archwing. It is an amazing Archwing. It's almost a little OP, honestly. It's almost too good. It's pretty much unkillable. If you're careful and you have the abilities up, it's a really good Archwing. The new gear I'm also torn on. The new rifle is terrible. The new melee weapon is alright. I'm pretty happy with it. But thus far, like I said before, the overhaul is pushing Archwing in the correct direction, I think, and I think Archwing definitely needs more work, and I really hope that Archwing gets more attention moving forward. I hope that DE doesn't forget about it for another 18 months like it did before, but we'll have to just see and find out, honestly. But going through the overhaul, obviously, we have the 6 degrees of freedom, the new movement system. I absolutely love it. I know there are definitely people who have reported motion sickness and are confused by it and just don't like it. And I completely understand. It definitely disorients me at times as well. I don't have any motion sickness issues, but I'm just not really the type of person to get motion sick, so I'm guessing that could have something to do with it. But I like the feel. It's a little bit more organic to me. It is, by no means like an actual flight simulator, but it feels like I can do more stuff with the movement system, and that makes playing the game a little bit more fun and a little bit more interesting, and kind of how you can approach a situation. It doesn't really make much sense, but I really like the new movement system. And I know not everyone does, and that's okay, but for me personally, I like being able to pitch and roll and do all kinds of crazy stuff and have the freedom to do that. We also got a new UI to go along with the movement system. The UI, it's the mini-map is still garbage. The mini-map, I don't know exactly what's wrong with it, but it's absolutely useless now. I almost never look at it now, just due to the fact that I think, I could be wrong on this, but the mini-map shows your character as in the orientation that it's supposed to be, rather than the orientation that it actually is. So if you're upside down, it's a nightmare. The mini-map in Archwing is garbage, and it needs to be reworked and made to work properly, basically. We also got Eximus units in Archwing. This is something that people have been begging DE to do forever, just to get more experience in the levels. Archwing leveling has always been a horrible grind, as well as Archwing, obtaining Archwing weapon parts has also always been kind of a nightmare grind, but they also fixed that in the Overhaul. Eximus units, they're not bad. They do add a little bit of variety into the missions as well, having to worry about Eximus attacks while you're defending an objective. It's just like normal Warframe now, basically. So it's, I don't know, I like it. It adds a little flavor into the game and kind of wraps Archwing into an actual mode instead of a ham-fisted thing that DE decided to throw into the game. Syndicates now offer Archwing components. Syndicates now sell for standing Archwing weapon components. This is a huge thing. The grind for Archwing weapons has been a nightmare forever. And people, that was probably one of the biggest complaints that people had about Archwing, was trying to grind for weapon parts. It sucks. It sucks, it sucks, it sucks. And DE took the weapon parts out of the specific mission rewards, but this way, I think adding them to the syndicates gives people a reason to utilize syndicates again in case they've maxed and bought everything. But it also gives people the opportunity to not have to grind, grind in a different way to play regular Warframe instead of Archwing. I like it. It's an interesting change. I think it's going to be good for the game as a whole. DE also reduced the number of Archwing nodes to 8. There's now 4 Grenier and 4 Corpus for every game mode. I don't know about this change. I think it's fine. I don't think having multiple defense missions was really going to... excuse me, they took Archwing defense missions out of the game. Mobile defense is what I meant to say. I'm sorry. I don't think having multiple defense missions is really going to be that great of an idea. Now, this game mode you're seeing here, the game mode we were watching was Pursuit. It's a new game mode. I really like it. It's innovative and interesting, and I had a lot of fun playing it. The game mode we're currently watching is called Rush. I hate it. And I hate it because it's time-based, and I happen to suck at time-based stuff, and I happen to also suck at piloting my Archwing. Obviously, as you can see just in the first few seconds here, I am complete garbage at piloting. So, that being said, it does need some work, but I think this is kind of an innovative game mode compared to just having Exterminate and Interception. So, moving right along, we also got some new mods and weapons. We got the Agkuza. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. These new melee and gun Archwing weapons are ridiculous. Their names are absolutely outrageous. But that's the new melee weapon. It's a hooked sword. Stats-wise, it's pretty good. It's not quite as good as the Centaur, which was, as far as I know, still the top melee weapon for Archwing. But it's up there. It's a pretty hot sword. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And then the gun, which is a 3-round burst rifle, is the Singas. It sucks. I hate 3-round burst weapons in Archwing. I don't mind burst weapons in the game itself, but in Archwing it just does not belong. Also, the clip is only 30 rounds, so I found myself running out of ammunition constantly. It's terrible. We also got a couple of new mods, as well as some new augments for the original Archwings. I think adding augments for Archwings is a great idea, and I think it's something that should have been implemented forever ago, quite frankly. But last but not least, we have a new support Archwing, the Amnesia, which I've been using in both videos. Like I said before, this Archwing is nearly unkillable. It's a great support frame. It'll keep the entire team alive. It'll keep... It's an amazing... If you don't have it, find a way to get it, because it's The Amisha is amazing. Now, having 4 Amishas on your team isn't a great idea, but having one good Amisha on your team, being able to heal and increase power, strength, and duration and range for the entire team is amazing, and it makes higher level Archwing much more tolerable. But thank you guys very much for watching my Archwing overview video. Expect more Specters of the Rail videos coming very soon. I've been your host with the most, as always, Francois878, signing off.